Hello, my name is Martyr, and this is Let's Play Why Am I Dead at Sea? And thank you for watching. Dead at Sea, guys, is a mystery adventure game, somewhat along the same lines as To the Moon and Last Word, where the focus is on the story, guys, and not, crazy actions or levels or anything like that. In the game, you play a ghost who's trying to figure out who murdered them and why, and also stop some sort of impending doom or some sort of apocalypse that is going to befall everyone that is aboard this boat, which you can see right there on the screen. Dead at Sea released May 2015. It was developed and published by Peltast Software. You can go ahead and get Why Am I Dead at Sea on Steam for $9.99. I would suggest you to get this game because you know what? It's a really interesting game, especially for a person who enjoys being brought into and kind of engulfed by a story. And these are the types of RPGs that I really enjoy, guys. Telling really good stories with multiple characters, kind of Agatha Christie style, with each of them being suspicious or, weird in their own way. Except this time you get to kind of turn the tables because, you're a supernatural ghost and you get ghost-like powers. It's pretty freaking awesome. We're going to start off with the options, of course, but if you want, you can click on that big red button up there. It says skip to the action, and that'll take you right to it. Otherwise, let's start with the options, guys. And for a simpler looking, albeit I don't think it was made with the RPGMaker system, for a game that kind of looks like it was made with one, it actually does have a pretty good, nice amount of features in the options. For instance, you can rebind all the keys if you like, which is really, really cool. All the keys are rebindable. There is no controller support right now, but you do have the option to play, with the keyboard and change the controls to whatever way you like. At least I don't think there's controller support. So there's no controller support. I tried to hit a button on my controller, it doesn't work. You have some audio sliders right here. The game does feature 1080p resolution, which is really freaking nice because most of the time these types of games don't actually feature that, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to record, and let alone it's kind of a mess. But this game does feature that, and I really, really freaking appreciate that. Now, I know that there is Steam achievements in this game. I don't know if there's any Steam cards. I don't think there is. I haven't gotten any anyways during the course of me playing this game. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and hit play. There is multiple save files, which is also very nice. Even though it's kind of like a straightforward game, you're going to be kind of moving through it as a somewhat linear story for the most part. There is multiple endings to this game, but for the most part, you're going to be playing through, one single playthrough. There's no randomly generated stories or anything like that. It's just you go from beginning to the end, and you get an ending depending on what decisions you decide to make in the game. So, in that regard, having multiple save files is pretty useful. So we're going to continue from where I was in the story. We're going to click it here. Now, this is the little blue flame right there is your ghost character. The mystery of the game is to find out who murdered you, why, and who you are in general, which I already have kind of a basic inkling to in this game. This kid right here is basically the kid from The Sixth Sense. He can see dead people. As you can see about me, why am I dead? I don't know, but there's one thing I can tell you. You weren't ready to go, and that's why you're still here. So I think we can rule out suicide. Where am I? You're on a small cruise ship? I don't remember its name. I think it was French. We're out for sea, so I'm not sure where we are exactly. Who am I? I don't know. But it shouldn't be too hard to find out. If you see a dead body anywhere, it's probably you. So he can see dead people. He basically kind of pulls you from the aether and basically kind of gives you a chance to solve your own murder. How do you do that? Well, you have powers. The first of which you can kind of possess people. Not only that, you can also read people's minds. If you get near them, you can see that their thoughts, which is what you're looking at right here. It says, I can't stop myself. This one is different. I need your help. I can feel the others below. I can't stop it myself. So much pain. You can read people's thoughts and kind of see what's going on inside of their heads, and it's a little bit twisted what different kinds of powers you can do. You can also possess things. So let's actually show that off here. We'll start off with the simple possession. Come here, cat. Meow. Now I am the cat, which is pretty friggin', well, sad and somewhat pathetic. But it's kind of the basic life form that you can possess, and you start moving up from there. You start possessing other people eventually. But the only way to do that, though, is you need to unlock their story. You need to learn more about them in the game. And how you do that basically is by, of course, going through the story itself, doing different kinds of actions, using different people to talk to different people to get different outcomes that leads to more different kinds of possessions, etc, etc, etc. Each character, by the way, so for instance, this cat right here has an amazing ability that she can jump which basically means she can jump into vents like so and lead to other areas. Each character in the game has a different power. So like for instance, she has a power that she can look through all peepholes. Like she can, oops, oh, didn't mean to do that. She can walk up to a peephole and look through it and see if there's anybody in the room, for instance. Like that guy is in that room. She can look into the different areas of the ship, which is what her power is. Every character has a unique power. I think there's like 9 characters total aboard the ship. Each of them has their own unique power, and you're going to use those powers to get ahead in the game, essentially. Find out different things. So right now, for instance, I just unlocked the first mate. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is controlling the first mate. And this ship, by the way, does take place in this entire... the story, I should say, takes place in this entire ship right here. It's not very large. There's a few rooms. Definitely bigger than, I would say, than Last Word, which is really nice. Where is the ship's mate? He's not here. He's probably up at the bridge. Oh, interesting. I didn't notice this till now, but it's nighttime now. Oh, things are going to get dicey. So I've recently gained the power to possess the first mate, whose name is, I think, Ferdinand or something to that effect. And he's really, as you could tell by reading his mind, batshit crazy. I don't know what's up with this dude. No one is this happy in their mind. I think he could be crazy. But I can possess him now, which basically gives me a little bit different kinds of abilities. So for instance, Ferdinand basically can walk into rooms. He has a key that basically allows him to enter areas. And he can also talk to them. Now, there's 2 different kinds of possessions. I should mention this. There's ghost possession, like level 1, we'll call it, which is just the basic possession, which is what you see me doing right there. Now, if I were to hold down the button, you'd see that my ghost spirit kind of turns purple. And then it didn't let me possess that guy. Well, there's this thing called full possession, where you become that person. You can speak through them and control them completely. I can't do that with him. I can only do that with one other crew member currently. But eventually you do get the ability to fully control them, speak through them, and that kind of gives you access to different kinds of stories. It lets you kind of directly interfere with things. When you're just kind of in your basic form of possession, you can kind of only say what that person would say. You can only say what that person would kind of have on their mind. So for example, we're going to talk to the cook here. So, hello, Mercurio. How are you feeling on this fine day? Not as good as it was a minute ago. I get the feeling you don't enjoy our little chats. Caesar yawned. Says, no, I don't. I get the feeling you don't enjoy your little chats. You wouldn't be, sir. I'm wounded. Okay. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Not a long day at work, I presume. I guess every day is about the same: breakfast, lunch, dinner. You're a man of routine. I like that. Well, most jobs generally involve some amount of routine. I don't see anything special about that. And you are so humble, too. Sure. Well, wait. One thing I will say that I love is that when you possess different people, the music shifts, and it just gives you a weird, different vibe for that character. It really does a good job of kind of presenting their personality through the music. So, for instance, the music that you're listening to right now is just completely whacked. How did you feel that captain before this? Oh, the old captain? He was alright. Kind of a loner, which I didn't mind at all. Oh, he gave off some weird vibes, though. Well, that just threw off one of my theories. Weird vibe, what makes you say that? I don't know, he acted like blue blood. Like he was really well off and this place was beneath him. Why would a guy like that come to work for a heap like this ship? What became of him afterwards? You mean after he quit? How the hell should I know? He was just my boss. I don't know about his personal life, nor did I care. Oh, okay, so I guess that was the former captain. Okay, so that was a different captain. Interesting. What does that captain have to do with the story? I have absolutely no idea. So you're asking yourself, what is it you have to do? Well, you basically have to grab each character and start interacting with different areas and start talking to different characters to try to unlock more and more people you can possess and find out more information about who possibly committed the murders. So that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take Ferdinand. We're going to talk to Donovan, who's a very suspicious looking character right now. I don't want to give away too much of the stories. I'm not really going to do that because I think the story obviously is the main selling point of this game. And that if you are interested in this game, you should go ahead and buy it because the story is really good. One thing, matter of fact, I want to point out as I'm going to go talk to Donovan over here is that each review on Steam actually is somewhere in the neighborhood of between 8 and 10 hours. All the reviews are positive between 8 and 10 hours. You don't see that very often. The game basically just enthralls you. It brings you into the story. You want to see it. You want to complete the story and see what happens by the end of it all. And you will also have those multiple endings. It's just something I had to know because I was like kind of impressed by that. You don't see that very often. So let's talk to Donovan here. How are you doing on this beautiful day? I'm fine. Are you sure? Nothing I can help you with? No. You're not upset about the captain, I hope? ... No. You're not very talkative, huh? Not when I have nothing to say. Great! Alright. Is everything on the ship to your satisfaction? Yes, everything's okay. I pride myself on being able to adjust to the passengers' requests. That's great. Is there anything you need? Let me know immediately. Sure. So as you can imagine, by the way, there is also going to be quite a bit of reading in this game. It does have that in common with RPGs. It's very much a text-based game. So, we basically learned that Donovan is keeping some sort of ancient artifact in his room. Which is what we're on our way to go, I would think, go get. What are we going to do? Oh, that's a good question. Let's talk to this guy. Are there any problems I can help you with? Not at all. I want to thank you for being considerate enough to allow my pets on board. In truth, I didn't know about them beforehand. I suppose not, but you also haven't given me a hard time about them. When the captain found out, it looked as if she was ready to throw me overboard. Are there any other problems I can help you with? Not at all. I want to thank you, blah, blah, blah. They are the smallest problem I have at the moment. You're certainly right about that. Okay. So basically, just go around talking to different characters. And basically, you're supposed to accomplish some sort of goal. Now, if you do happen to get lost, by the way, if you're not really sure what you need to do, you can go back to the Sixth Sense kid right here, for instance, and say, what should I do next? And he'll say, like I said earlier, the ship is moving in from your body, and that's making things very difficult. If you could change the direction of the ship, I should say, your connection to this world won't be threatened. Okay, so, obviously, we probably need to take control of the Ferdinand now. You can take control of the first mate, right? You should be able to use the steering wheel to turn the ship around. Changing course randomly like that might be a bad idea, but your very existence is at stake here. I'm sure the ship's navigation will sort itself out. You just focus on the task in front of you. Interesting. So we're going to follow the commands of this evil child, who can speak to the dead and summon the dead, might I add, and alter the ship's course. We're going to grab him. Unlike everything else here, the purpose of this wheel is quite obvious. Turn it! Whee! The direction of the ship has been changed. So that's done. Very good. The ship's direction has been changed. Alright, who's talking to me right now? That should buy us enough time. I guess that's the kid. When you can, come back to the room to talk. Okay, so let's turn back into a ghost form. Let's go talk to the kid now. One thing I will notice is that you can kind of move a little bit faster as a ghost, which is one thing I really, really like. Some of the characters are a little bit slower than others. You've changed the ship's direction. Good. Now we can breathe a bit easier, except not really, since there's still a murderer on the loose. All this is really exhausting me, though. I wasn't prepared to deal with this maintaining such a distance connection. Overnight, we'll have to rest. I'll need you to enter a dormant state. I doubt there's much you can do while everyone's on the ship is asleep in any case. Are you ready to go to the next day? No, I need more time. Okay, that's fine. Don't be too long, though. Most of the ship is probably asleep by now, so I don't think there's much you can do. When you're ready, talk to me. Okay, we're going to save really quick, because I think the kid's being a little bit suspicious. I mean, what is he up to, really? Can't possess this dude. By the way, every time you can't possess somebody, like this red little field will appear around them, kind of like showing you that they're not currently accessible. You're screwed, basically. Let's see here. Who can we possess and start doing things with? Let's see. I don't think it's exactly done with. Let's see what we can do here. Let's go talk to this guy outside of his room. This character right here is a writer. She's particularly good at sensing people's emotions. She's kind of like she's just very in tune with people and how they feel. Doesn't look like he has anything new to say. It's very possible that I could be wrong here about all this and that I'm being overly suspicious and there really is nothing left to do. Let's go ahead. Let's check out this guy. By the way, this is the character I was talking about. I can fully possess this character and use him as I see fit, and walk up to people and speak freely as a ghost. Well, hello there, Alton. Is there something for which my assistance is required? As first mate of this fine vessel, it is my duty to help the staff in any way I can. When was the last time the captain was seen? I believe I started this morning at the helm. She seemed quite well. Okay, well, I think I've more or less seen all these conversations, so I think, for the most part, I think that's basically it. I think that's probably gonna end our particular night here. I am curious about one thing, though. Oh, I forgot to mention, you also have Ghost Sense. If you hold down the K button, you can see what rooms you currently have access to in a weird way. You can, like, which doors you can pass through. So as you can see, like, that door's green, that door's green. It looks like all the doors are green right now, actually. Let's go hold down K here. I want to make sure that I'm right about that. Yeah, all the doors are green. It would appear that all the doors I can enter now. Alright, well anyways, most of the time it shows you what doors you can enter, what doors, who you can and cannot possess, for instance, and things like that. So without further, we're just going to go ahead and head to the next day. Might as well. Yes, let's go to the next day. Alright, what does one say in this situation? Sweet dreams? Yes, weird kid from the Sixth Sense. Sweet dreams indeed. You learned a great deal about the other passengers on the ship. Okay. With each person, you gain control of your edge closer to the truth. With each person, you get I don't know. You gain an edge. Each thread you uncover ultimately has its roots in your murder. Murder. But there's something else. I will say, like I said, the music is really well done. The graphics are really well done. They have this kind of Earthbound style to them, not traditional RPG style, which I really appreciate. Perhaps this mystery is not as straightforward as I once thought. And yeah, I mean, I appreciate it's not traditional graphics. I really appreciate the music. I think it's very well done as well. There's a twist coming up. It isn't a good one. Let's find out then, shall we? I have a feeling that this is all going to end horribly. I wonder if that's the kid's thoughts, or is it my thoughts as the ghost? I'm not really sure. I'm scared. What are you scared of? Death? Please help me. Who are you talking to? Who is talking for that matter anyways? The game is just full of mystery. I don't know what the hell's going on. I guess we were the kid's mind. I'm not really sure. Alright, let's talk to the kid. More about me. More about you. About the ship. More about me. Do you think I am or was the captain of this ship? I think so. This whole time the captain of the ship hasn't turned up once, even other people are getting suspicious. Honestly, that's not good news. What was the captain of the ship like? I saw her a couple of times. She visited me here. She was nice. We talked about geometry. Nobody else likes talking to me. How long has she been captain of the ship? This ship was her first. She was brand new. I don't know much about the previous captain. I know that he was here for a while. I don't know what happened to him. Interesting. Sounds like the current captain got here sort of last second. Same with the first mate, actually. Interesting. Do you know her background, where she was from? She never brought it up. Actually, she avoided talking about it. I guess wherever she was, she didn't like it. That's why she was here. What do the others on the ship think of her? I didn't really go outside this room, so it's hard for me to say. You could try to ask other people themselves. Not sure what they'll tell you now, though. People try not to speak ill of the dead, after all. Where was the captain of the ship like? Why am I dead? That's the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? I've tried to use my, let's call it my gift, to sense it, but I can't see things clearly. What are you able to see? I can see you. You're somewhere very dark, and you're surrounded by sleeping people. Whoa. I don't know where you are, but it feels like I'm there too. It's a terrible place. There's someone standing behind you dressed in a black cloak, but they split apart into two different people and begin to fight with each other. I can't make out the face of either person. They keep changing over and over. And that's it. Creates more questions than answers, really. Oops, didn't mean to do that. You do have, by the way, kind of go through the dialogue over and over again if you kind of have to, if you accidentally click on a conversation. I feel like as part of my identity has returned to me. Okay. That's good or bad? I'm not really sure. Does that change anything? Good morning, passenger. This is your friendly first mate Ferdinand speaking. I'd like to ask all staff and passengers onto the B1 floor for an important announcement. I could make the announcement via intercom, but I feel this is a matter that requires a face-to-face talk. Thank you, and I'll see you very soon. I have a feeling I know what it's going to be about. And it's not going to be friendly. Now, one thing I will say is that this is essentially kind of like a puzzle game. So you kind of end up possessing everybody at one point in time and using other people pretty much over and over again to get something accomplished, which can lead the game to feeling a little bit grindy. There, you know, you kind of have to go back and forth possessing people to do certain tasks, and sometimes the tasks aren't very clear, which is why I think that kid being there is very important, because he's kind of the guy that's going to point you in the right direction if you get stuck, go back to that kid, because it's sometimes some of the things you have to do are very abstract. Like I had to talk to, I used the writer to talk to somebody because she can connect with them emotionally. And it doesn't always just make it very clear as to what you're supposed to do next, which can be, it's a little bit of grinding, a little bit going back and forth, and having to kind of, figure out what to do. I'm not sure if the kid, I think the kid always does a pretty good job of telling you what to do for the most part. But I just noticed that as I was playing the game. Anyways, hello everyone. As first mate of this fine vessel, I must inform the crew of any notable events. And so it just happens right now, we find ourselves in such a cough. Right. Yesterday, our lovely captain was not in the pilot house all day. In her absence, it is my duty to fill her shoes and pilot the ship for the time being. However, rest assured that this is no cause for alarm. I'm sure the captain is fine. She is most certainly aboard the ship somewhere. Yep, bright as rain. If the staff would look for her in their off hours, I'm sure things will be back to normal by nightfall. Now I must head to the pilot house. Enjoy your cruise. Well, you old herman, sounds like unpaid overtime to me. Is that true? The captain is missing? Actually, I didn't see her yesterday either. Not that I was looking, but we won't know anything for sure until we've searched the ship. No reason to start freaking out now. Maybe not, but it does raise a lot of questions, doesn't it? Like, for instance, where the hell is Donovan? Well, breakfast hours have started. I gotta get back to work. No matter what happens, people gotta eat. Sue, you coming? Yes, of course. I have a feeling they aren't going to find the captain. What do you mean? Given the circumstances, they didn't seem very worried. I wonder if they know something they're not letting on. But the captain has to be somewhere, right? ... I should get going. I should get to work. I guess I'm sure this will turn out okay. Uh-oh. Where's Donovan? He's the only person who didn't show up. Yeah, it's strange. I'm sure you heard about the announcement on the intercom. That's okay. It creeps me out. He's a strange one. It might not be a bad idea to keep an eye on him. Well, I should go feed my pets. Be careful, everyone. Everyone's breaking up in different directions. You've been really quiet, Daryl. ... What do you think? What should we do? Nothing. There's no point. We can search the ship or ask around if anyone saw something suspicious or... ... What is it? Don't you get it? She's dead. And there's nothing we can do about it. Damn, harsh. When they announced the captain was missing, Daryl had a strong reaction. He looked like he was in pain. What's going on with him? Oh, there we go. We can probably gather from that we might want to go ahead and possess the writer. Which I'm going to try... Oh, God. Which I was going to try to do before she got in here. I'm going to try to talk to this guy. See if he knows anything. Again, now this is all about just using different characters to unlock more different kinds of information. Lots of different kinds of puzzles in a weird way you have to solve. What was that about back there? The captain, a murderer. I don't have the energy to deal with it. And even if I did, there's still nothing I can do about any of it. I couldn't help her, and I can't help anyone here. Something about the captain's disappearance that just upset you. She reminded me of someone I used to know. It doesn't matter anymore. Have you noticed anything suspicious around the ship? I just noticed some things were missing from my room. Like the key to my journal. And when I say missing, I mean stolen. Seems like there's a thief aboard. Not sure why they took the key. They might have thought it opened something more important. Interesting. I know who has that key. Alright, so basically at this point now we'd go around trying to talk to people to figure out what to do. But we could always just skip all that. Oh, hello. Hello, Tick. Donovan's there. Let's see if we can... Come here. Come here. We're going to use you to talk to the guy again. We're going to talk to Donovan, see if we can find some information from him. He went downstairs. Get him! He's running! No! Okay. I think we're doing his Quella. Okay, never mind. He's obviously not going to say anything new. Alright. Never mind. I had the wrong instincts. So again, this is what I was talking about. This is kind of where you kind of get a little bit lost. You need to use the right person at the right time, talk to the right thing, do the right thing at the right time. And that can get a little bit difficult, to say the least. You can get a little bit lost. You end up using the same characters over and over again, talk to different people, and that can get a little bit grindy, a little bit repetitive, as it were. What should I do next? Well, if there was previously any doubt who you are, that probably isn't now. Who would want to murder the captain of the ship? Daryl seemed to take the news more personally than others. I wonder why that is. This may seem out of the blue, but I feel like that box in Zoo Room might be important here. Tell me more. Based off what I've seen so far, there's no way Daryl will voluntarily up about himself, so you might have to get a bit underhanded. I've heard rumors that a key of Daryl's went missing. Did he lose it, or was it picked from him? Quella seems to be interested in Daryl as I am. If she could get her hands on that key, she might be able to put it to good use. Alright. So let's go get Quella, I guess, who is upstairs. Can't possess that guy. And let's see if we can get that key. And then this will probably be how we're going to kind of wrap things up here. Come here. Is this Quella? Let's see. This is Quella. Okay, cool. So I know which one's is Zoo's room. But Zoo does... I know for a fact Zoo doesn't have the key because that was mentioned earlier in the game. Investigate the box. There's a short electronics and jewelry here. Does this all belong to Sue? Wait, that key says Daryl on it. Dot, dot, dot. I think I understand what's going on here. I should take Daryl's key. It unlocks his journal, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Let's go find Daryl's room. I think Daryl's room is this one over here. And we'll find out a little bit more about him, maybe? Yeah, it is. The fancy leather-bound diary is on the desk. Read it. Daryl's key is able to unlock the journal. Page 1. Entry 1. I've been told that reflecting on my thoughts could help. I don't end up sticking to the habit, but when I got to that point, I'll try to write. I don't know why I don't believe for a second it'll do anything. So as you can see, everything, all these little journal entries are kind of let you know more about the character, and obviously the one with the exclamation point is the one that's going to kind of move the story forward, guys. But all in all, guys, like I said, it's a game that kind of enthralls you, brings you into the story, and it's really, really well done the way it kind of just brings you in. You want to chase the story, you want to know what's going on and why, and that's what makes this type of game so great, and that's why I like this type of game, guys, and I think you will too. Plus it's a pretty good price as well, guys. So if you enjoy that, the mystery, that supernatural thing that you found like in Last Word or To the Moon, or if you're a fan of Agatha Christie novels, I think you will definitely enjoy this type of game. Just keep in mind that there's a little bit of a grind to it, but that isn't necessarily anything that's bad, as long as you don't mind just going back to the kid occasionally just to figure out what to do. If you can figure out what to do yourself though, that's great. But otherwise, when you get stuck occasionally, just go back to the kid, or I don't think you have to look up a guide. I haven't had to look up a guide up to this point, but again, I'm only about 2 or 3 hours into the game so far, so that could change later on. But I think for the most part, you can figure out what to do if you use the kid, and if you're clever, guys. So I just want to say big thanks to the developer for a chance to check out this title. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, guys, and I'll keep bringing you awesome indie games, guys. If you really enjoyed this video, maybe consider hitting up that tip jar. If you're feeling generous of heart, all tips go to improving the channel or future giveaways. Till next time, guys, play more indie games.